Ms. Miller, you're recognized for West Virginia. You're recognized for 5 minutes.
Okay. Again, thank you, Chairman Yarmouth and Ranking Member Womack, for having me here today. It's my pleasure to be here. Today, I want to share with you issues that are critical to my district and the importance of having a budget that supports the health and well-being of our communities while also being good stewards of taxpayer dollars. I will focus my remarks on 3 central areas: career and technical education, the energy industry, and infrastructure. Across the United States, career and technical education programs, known as CTE, have helped prepare students for the workforce. I am sure that many of you have seen this within your own districts. These programs incorporate what students are learning in the classroom and give them real-world applications by developing skills needed to enter the working world upon leaving high school. In my home state of West Virginia, 37% of all students have completed at least one CTE program and have earned more than 14,000 industry-recognized credentials. Further, students who participate in CTE programs are more likely to graduate high school as well. Whether during high school or after, as part of a continuing education, investing in CTE will help equip our children and grandchildren with the skills and knowledge they need to succeed. The demand for a skilled and educated workforce is continuing to grow, and programs like CTE help ensure we have the people ready to succeed in their journey in life. It's no secret that the opioid crisis is devastating communities around the country, and especially in my home state of West Virginia. It has torn families apart and taken too many of our children. Along with the toll taken on family and friends, our opioid epidemic has taken too many out of the workforce. In addition to giving students the ability to enter the workforce, programs like CTE can help give young adults plans for the future, hope outside of drugs, and keep our students on a path towards success. I also want to stress the importance for any proposed budget to protect our energy industry and those who work in it. West Virginia is an energy state. It employs our people and powers our communities. The previous administration instituted regulations that devastated the coal industry in my state and eliminated many precious jobs. We cannot go back down that road. That is why I'm worried about proposals like the Green New Deal. I urge the committee to not consider overreaching proposals such as this when crafting the budget of fiscal year 2020. Plans like the Green New Deal pose an imminent threat to the economy of my state and the livelihoods of my constituents. In West Virginia, nearly 30,000 people work in the energy industry, and 93% of our electricity comes from coal. I urge the committee to reject any proposals that would regulate the energy industry out of business. We all have a duty to protect our planet and to leave our home better than we found it for our children and our grandchildren. So let's incentivize innovation, not taxation and regulation, when it comes to protecting our environment. We've lifted so many people out of poverty and built the America of the 21st century, but we still have much more to do. In my district, companies are beginning to work on taking previously toxic material and transforming it into inert rock, pure clean water, and rare earth elements used in everything from pacemakers to cell phones. Again, we need a budget that incentivizes innovation that will deliver real solutions that we can implement today. Finally, I ask the committee to include money for infrastructure in fiscal year 2020 budget. Across the United States, we have crumbling roads and bridges. My district lacks easy access to highways and interstates, which make it difficult for my constituents from the most rural parts of the 3rd District to access services in more populous areas of the state. We need to innovate our infrastructure and invest in our roads, railways, and rivers to connect our state and transport our resources. There is a great need all across the country to improve and maintain thoroughfares while enhancing safety. Any federal money towards infrastructure can have a positive economic impact in our local communities through increasing growth and creating jobs. As an important part of infrastructure, I also asked the committee to consider the inclusion of rural broadband in the fiscal year 2020 budget. Many communities across the United States lack reliable access to the internet. I was pleased to see Facebook's announcement this week that it will be laying 275 miles of fiber in West Virginia. I know Governor Justice and Senator Capito worked tirelessly on bringing this project to fruition, and I hope we can continue efforts like this across the United States. Increasing connectivity in rural America can preserve the rural way of life while also growing local economies, delivering a quality education, promoting tourism, and enhancing telehealth. Thank you again, Chairman and Ranking Member Womack. Thank you.
I thank the gentlelady for her testimony. Any questions of the witness?
One quick question, Mr. Chairman. To my friend from West Virginia, thanks for being here today. Thanks for taking time. Would you agree with the assessment that in the early 1870s, the average American family spent about more than 80% of its income on food, clothing, and shelter, and that today, after a roughly threefold increase in per capita energy usage and a nearly 14-fold increase in real per capita GDP, Americans spend a third of their income on these basic necessities? In other words, is fossil fuels making lives better in this country and around the world?
Fossil fuels do make lives better.
And can I also ask if you would agree that according to a 2015 report by the International Energy Agency that an estimated 1.2 billion people, 17% of the global population, remain without electricity, and 2.7 billion people, 38% of the global population, put their health at risk through reliance on the traditional use of solid biomass for cooking? Things like that. Do we make the world a lot better when we export our fossil fuels and our energy around the world?
Absolutely. It's most important.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank the gentleman. I'm going to defer now. We have two members of leadership who are going to